Hello everybody and welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday and we're getting rock blocked, which is another adult joke. Thanks. I actually I act like I'm annoyed, but I'm really not. You know, it's first of all, it's not exactly strange for adults making a game targeted or anything targeted at a younger audience to include subtle adult humor in there. Because after all, some adults are going to have to watch their kids play this or watch, like in the case of a TV show, watch the TV show along with them, you know, just to spend time with them. So it's nice for the adults to actually have something they can chuckle at as well. So I'm not actually annoyed.
All right. Gotta be another one of them shimmery things around here.
But, you know, it's just fun to point out is all. Get out of here, plant. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. I'm curious. I'm looking at this level, and it's feeling a lot like... I'm starting to feel like pretty much all the Dingo Dial levels are... They're starting to look pretty similar in terms of layout. Just like, oh, there's this platform here that's X distance wide and X distance long, and then there's another one that's X distance wide and X distance long, and then you've got the TNT barrel here, and you've got a wall. Like, there doesn't seem to be, frankly, I think of all the characters' levels, I feel like Dingo probably has the least diverse levels in terms of the actual layout of the level, which makes sense. He's kind of the least mobile of them. Uh-oh. Hold on. Did I need that TNT? I might have needed that TNT. Can I get a TNT over? I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna kill myself for this anymore, but... Yep, not gonna make that. Oh, I did make it. I just couldn't take the TNT with me. Oh, it's actually straight up not gonna let me go any further. Okay, so yeah, I did need a TNT for that, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's not me. Even though I only missed 2 boxes in that last level. It's weird. It's kind of feeling like the later levels are easier to get all the boxes in than the earlier ones were. And maybe it's just because I'm getting better at the game. Also, don't ask me why I just shot a TNT at a baby dinosaur. I know that seems kind of cruel, but there we go. There's my just desserts. You know, and it sends me back to the beginning. So you know, I get another shot at that one crate. Not that I care, but I get it. Boom. Boom. Can we get up on this guy? Probably not. Nope. I just wanted to test it out. But nope, there's an invisible wall there. See, if this were like the originals, there wouldn't have been a wall there, and I probably could have gone, and there would have been collision and everything, and like it wouldn't have done much for me, but it would have been a cool, neat place I could have gone. Also noticing the music is the same for every Dingo Dial level. Just kind of... I mean, it's not bad, the music, but just would have been neat to have a little bit more, you know. Man, what is it that turned me into a video game critic? I used to just play games. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that I think about video games critically. Not necessarily anyway. Like, how did that happen? I mean, I guess the answer is just that I kind of got more into making the things that I like And so I guess YouTube probably has a big part in it too, because you know I've watched a lot of game design videos just because I do have an interest in the subject. So, you know, that's, I guess, once you do that sort of thing, you watch those sorts of videos, I guess it's kind of hard to help yourself at that point. I spun the TNT. Cool. It's hard to help yourself at that point. You know, you see something, you're like, oh, I can see how, you know, I can see why they did that, the makers of the game, you know. And you know what? I'm not gonna... In fact, I'd say overall this is probably a boon rather than a bane, because now I have a lot of the ideas that would make me better at making video games, or any sort of games, really. I mean, I know for a fact that this sort of analysis that I do just casually when I'm playing a game now has helped me with D&D, because instead of just slapping stuff into the game like I used to, I'm actually thinking about the actual numbers behind things, and you know what certain things encourages. Like a really good example is, I don't know if I brought it up on this series, but I made a feat for D&D that is based on the mechanic in Bloodborne where if you get hit, you can hit an enemy within a certain amount of time. You can hit an enemy to get some of your health back. And I thought that was a cool mechanic, so I wanted to kind of port it over to D&D. And it was a little awkward, being that D&D is a turn-based game and Bloodborne is a real-time game. And there were various different versions that I made of that ability, because I'd make one and then I'd think, well, no, it would probably work better, because if I do it like this, then, you know, this certain build is going to be better than that build with this feat. And I want this feat to be better for these builds. Ow. So yeah, I had to put a lot of thought into, you know, who the build or who the ability, the feat worked best for, and who what kind of behavior that the feat would encourage. Because my motivation in the goal I was shooting for in making the feat was to incentivize aggressive play, which is what the mechanic also does in Bloodborne. Because when you get hit in Bloodborne, there's this idea of, oh, I can get that back if I just hit him again. Even though realistically, when you get hit in Bloodborne, you're at a disadvantage because you're in hit stun. So I wanted to bring that to D&D, because I noticed when I watch D&D, I like it when the players make aggressive plays. And Bloody Retaliation, the feat I made, I feel does a decent job of encouraging that sort of player behavior. So yeah, I do think, all this to say, basically, I do think watching all those videos on YouTube about how games are made and designed and stuff has helped me in my own pursuits, in my own creative endeavors. So, do recommend, I guess. Yeah. There's a lot of good videos out there on game design how things are made to be the way they are. You know, what works and what doesn't work. And that's why I'm more critical than I used to be. See, if this were an old Crash game, I could get into that little cubby. But I couldn't. Because it's Crash 4. But not like the actual Crash 4 that was actually called Crash 4 in Japan, which is Wrath of Cortex. What do they call this game in Japan? I should look that up, because in Japan, Wrath of Cortex was straight up called Crash 4. So I feel like I've mentioned that before, but I really wanna know. But I haven't looked it up yet, so. Curious. Okay.
Time to go.
Huh. And this is where we interfere, yes.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, T-Rex. Okay, I feel like I should have been able to... Yeah, I should definitely be able to see him climbing on that before it crumbles, based on that timing. Oh, okay, well, it's gonna be tough to get this, but never mind, got it. Alright. Oh, timed boxes, eh? It's a good thing I speed ran this section earlier. And then I died because I didn't spin soon enough, I guess. Ow, bad timing. It's fine. I guess one interesting little game design thing in platformers is the idea of your coins or fruits or rings or whatever. Well, not really rings in Sonic's case, but your collectibles persisting through death. Because I'm sure there were platformers that didn't do that initially, but like in Mario and Crash, and well, I guess in some Sonic games, but particularly Sonic games where rings aren't what are keeping you alive, which is very few of them. Yeah, in a lot of platformers, the little collectibles that you can collect 100 of to get another life, which is another super common trope in platformers, but those collectibles persist through life. And it has this interesting effect where it means that if you, as long as you keep collecting them, you're eventually going to get just extra lives, regardless of how often you die. As long as you're collecting those 100 whatevers, then you'll get another life, which is, I guess the biggest reason that works is because it incentivizes actually collecting them. Because if you were to collect like 99 fruits in this game and then you died and lost all of them, that would be kind of, okay, well. That'd be kind of demoralizing, wouldn't it? So, I guess that feature makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna do this one because I don't think it's that hard. I also find it interesting that this level in both forms, both the original form of this level and the Dingo Dial form, don't use the masks at all. And you know what? The funny thing is, the original form of this level is potentially my favorite level in this game, thinking back. There we go. Oh, fudge. I almost effed that up. Got it. All right. Okay, so this is interesting, right? could do that, and that, and that, and then back off. And then we're goodish. Hold on, I'm gonna have to use this box here, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, okay. Got it. I can bounce, bounce, bam. Yeah, that wasn't that hard. But yeah, funnily enough, this is one of the levels that doesn't use the mask, or any of the masks, and it's kinda, so far, it's kinda been my favorite. But, yeah. But, yeah. Right. Oh, I didn't need to slide there. I don't think I'm gonna get all the boxes in this level. Just because I feel like... Oh, I thought that was a rail for some reason. Just because I feel like Dingo Dial sections, they really like hiding boxes in somewhat obvious places, but not super obvious ones. So I'm not confident that I got all the boxes in that section of the level. But maybe. And if so, then it's kinda starting to prove my point that the later levels of the game are actually easier to get all the boxes in than the earlier ones. And not just because I'm getting more used to the game, as one might expect. I think they actually might have genuinely made it intentionally easier to get boxes at the end of the game. Specifically all the boxes. Because, like, you all remember that one jetboard level where I spent like 40 minutes in the first section of the level? That was not easy, and actually I believe it probably wasn't intended to be as hard as it was. Because, oh, well, you can have those, I guess. Because I think that was mostly just a matter of the camera being a pain. And if you're not designing, I think it was hard in spite of the camera, or no, hard because of the camera, but they didn't intend for the camera to make it hard, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's just do that to be real, make things real easy. See, this part, I feel like, is the part that's supposed to be teaching you how to RSJ. Because yes, you can technically slide on those platforms as they're going under and make it all the way and jump before you actually leave the platform. But it's definitely easier to RSJ. If you know that you can, anyway. Because you know what? It's probably not obvious to most people that that's possible. Okay, I tried to adjust so I would land on the TNT and it didn't work there. It's fine. But yes, RSJ, very useful maneuver. And I'm actually kind of curious to go back to Crash 2 now. Because Crash 2 was the first game with the slide in it. And back when I used to play Crash 2, you know, as a kid, and when I played it somewhat more recently, I didn't really make use of the slide jump much. So it'd be interesting to see how different that it makes that game. No telling if I'll be playing that on the channel though, just so you know. Because currently my PS3, which is what I typically play PS1 games on, is not taking discs. Ow. But I also don't really want to play much more of the remastered versions because, you know, Activision. We're reusing this set piece again, but it's still pretty cool. bonked my head on it. Ew. I bonked my head, then I burned my tuchus. How unfortunate. And a hit. And... oh, okay. You get that box. Wait, is he not actually... oh, he doesn't actually break that box. I didn't intentionally die there, but I was very distracted by the fact that he didn't break that box. So... not an intentional death. Oh, I wonder if that's one of the boxes. No, that box wasn't there in the other version of this level. I was gonna say I wonder if that's one of the boxes I missed in the original version of this level, but it definitely was not there. Oh no, I'm dead. Oh, that... what, you're not even gonna eat me? You're just gonna hold me in your mouth? Come on. In the old Crash games, I would have been eaten. Is that a fun bit? No, in the old Crash games, X would have happened. Yeah, okay. I'm actually not sure why I slid there, but in the old Crash games, that would have worked. Well, break that box, please. Thank you. Okay. I really feel like I probably shouldn't be paying attention to the boxes I missed. A, because, like I said, not really trying to get all the boxes anymore. But also B, because if I'm focusing on what's happening back there, I'm not focusing on what's right in front of me. But then again, I'm also kind of just hitting that in the peripheral. Right, just some bonus boxes here at the end. Alright. Did we do it? Nope, we missed 3. Can't say I'm surprised. Alrighty. Next level. Continue. Yeah, I mean, that version of the level was pretty good too. I don't know, can't say I prefer it over the original, just because I don't know that I prefer controlling Dingo Dial over the Bandicoots, but yeah, they definitely started with the best character when they introduced the extra characters. And then it just kind of got worse. Okay. We're gonna go to Burmagula's orbit. Is that supposed to be like... I guess it's a planet in this universe or something. And we don't know what time it is, but we're going out for lunch next time. But, as for this episode, that's a wrap. Is that nitrous oxide's ship?